up, my Dragon Champions family? Bones88, and I am back. After a month hiatus, I had to do a big move from Oklahoma to Florida, and it's been a pain in the butt to get some internet, but I finally got it figured out, got it done, and I am back, guys. I've missed all of you so much, but I've still been in the community. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. All kinds of drama's been going on, and that's exactly why I'm here. What a better video to come in on when there's all kinds of stuff to talk about, all kinds of drama. But that's not what this video is totally about. It's a half rant video. It's also a half like solutions on how we can make these problems better. Before I get started on this, I just want to say, guys, that this development team and Lizard Breath, we all kind of, we always think about Lizard Breath because that's the one that communicates with us the most. But there's a whole other dev team, and guys, I truly think they care about us. But just remember, they're a brand spanking new to the gaming. I mean, this is their first game they've ever made, and for that to be the case, guys, cut them some slack in that it's just they've hit this out of the park for the most part for this being their first game. I can think of thousands of people whose first few games sucked badly. You know what I'm saying? And then they started making good games. So for this to be their first game, they're doing great. Another thing, this game has been out for just a little over a year. If you've played any other Hero Collector games, it took them longer than it has these guys to this point of getting more content out. So they're not behind in how other Hero Collectors started out. And so just know that some people are new to this genre of game and have just never experienced it except for this game. I'm telling you guys, this is the best game. It's the best. Even though they're seeming greedy or whatever, you're still getting way more resources out of the money you pay. And they have, other games, you have to pay $20 just to get some kind of feeling of something resource-wise. This game, you can pay $5, $10, and you just feel like you're balling. You know what I mean? So that's great. But just remember that they're new, and they're going to make mistakes. But with that being said, there's still some problems. Every problem I could think that this game has right now, we're going to cover, and then we're going to also come up with how they can make that better. With that being said, this is going to be a long video, guys, because we have a lot to go over. But hopefully, I cover the problems that you guys also have. And at the same time, comment below. Let me know what you guys think and some other solutions. Because remember, guys, we can't just keep harping on these guys. Let's try to help them out. Whether they listen to us or not, that's up to them. And that's their problem if they don't. But I feel like we come up with some good ideas, and I'm pretty sure they watch my videos. So with that being said, let's just get on to it because this is going to be quite a long video. Alright, guys, so straight from the get-go, we're going to talk about the biggest problem at this moment in time, all the drama that's been going on in the past week about the new packs, the new pop-ups. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts and what I think they should do and what they're doing right money-wise. I'm also going to go over that. So, first of all, I play Raid Shadow Legend, and this is what they do. As soon as I log in, barrage, ad after ad, and you're like, okay, there's not going to be any more, and it just keeps on coming. Like, it doesn't stop. And I have to hit the X, and I'm just like sitting there, and sometimes it like lags a tiny bit to get to the next ad, and I'm just like, it's like maybe 10-15 seconds of your time, but still you're just like, ugh, I'm already exhausted. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, there's better ways, guys, better ways to do this than just barraging you with deals. I've never even looked at them, guys. I don't even look at the deals. All I see is an X and a bunch of ads, and I'm just hitting it as fast as I can. So it makes no sense to do this to them. You're just pissing off the player base, annoying them every time that they have to log in. They're annoyed. They're not happy to log in at that point. Now not only have you hindered them spending, because I've talked to almost hundreds of people now since I've been, off content, and they're all the spenders are saying, I'm not going to quit spending now because of this. I haven't heard much from free-to-play players, but I've heard nothing but, people who pay on this game are pissed just about this little thing. But it's annoying. No one wants to spend when you're like pushing it in their face. Like, buy this, spend your money. When you're being told to spend your money, that's when you quit spending your money. Because no one wants to be told how to spend their money. And so, that's the problem here. People don't want to be told to spend on this. But guess what? If you give us good content, to want to upgrade our characters faster so that they can be better than the other person, give us new content, that's when you get your money influx. Not by reinventing the whole ad thing and just putting it in our face. So it was really bad, really bad. And then they don't, by the way, devs don't work on the weekends. So if you're not hearing from them or whatever, they're not working on the weekends. They usually don't respond or anything to us or anything until Monday. So, that's why they're not communicating on weekends. So Monday came around and they did a patch for these. And it was better because originally it was saying, I think they were bugged a little bit because they were saying, get this new pack and it's never going to come around again. And we all know it comes back around. Even before this new update, it would say that and you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to see it because I always do again. And it pops up 3 days later. I hope they get rid of that. Buy this now or you'll never get it. Yeah, we're not stupid, guys. We're not stupid. And we notice these things. Like, you have, your dev team is just, I don't know how many people, let's just say there's 100 people on your dev team. Okay, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are playing your game that notice the smallest of things. And that person mentions it on Reddit or Facebook or whatever, and it spreads like fire. So, we're just not stupid. So don't think we're not going to notice something or anything like that. Just get rid of the whole, buy this now, it's never going to come around whole thing. And they did that for these intro ads. So now you just hit your X, and you get rid of them pretty quickly. See, I had one there, but it's random now, because I've heard people say they have 3, I heard people say they have 6, and I've gotten all iterations. That's the first time I've ever seen just 1 up there. I think I can do 3. Here's this. Do 6 at the very first login after reset. Whenever reset is, the next time that person logs in, give us 6. And when we exit out of them, do not give us any more until the next turnaround. We can do that. Even though I'm just telling you, you might as well just get rid of them because no one wants them and no one reads them. But that's my solution to that. One time, give us all 6. One time a day. The first login of the day, give us that and then just leave us alone. Another thing is I've never looked at these over here. Whatever's on the side before this, I didn't even really like. Honestly, just get rid of this and put events. Put if my battlegrounds, if I need to register for my battlegrounds. Put if I need to register for my raid. That kind of thing. Put that there for reminders so that I don't forget to do those things. I don't want to see these either. I pretty much know if I want to buy something that I go down over here and I do this anyways. I'm curious. I almost like to spin and see things I don't know about. Sometimes I'm just bored in the game and I'm like, okay, let's see what they have. Maybe I might spend $5-10 or something. And then I start looking through them. We know when we want to spend. We don't need you to tell us when to spend. And we know what our budget is. I don't want to see $120 offers. Those honestly make me mad just in any game. I don't want to see those. I'm not going to spend that much money. There's probably, 100 people in this game that would actually buy that. We don't want to see that. So that's pretty much my rant about that. I don't have a lot more to say. Just, limit it to one day or one time a day or something. And honestly, to me, it's not even that big of a deal. I deal with it in other games, but to some people, it's a huge deal. It's actually a huge, bigger deal to a lot more people than I thought. Yeah, Play Quantum, we just got to change that, man. I promise you, when your content starts to come out, that's what you need to worry about. Quit putting time and money into, little things. Even Expeditions could have waited. I like Expeditions, don't get me wrong. I like them, but it could have waited. Just little things like that, just leave them, put something huge out, and then start releasing those little things like Expedition, because then it looks like you're really doing a lot. But whenever you're putting these little things out, and we're just sitting here we just want Guild Wars. That's all we want. Just put all into Guild Wars, put Guild Wars out, and then focus on these little things, but at the same time, you need to have a few people working on the next big thing. As soon as you release the big thing, you need to be working on the next big thing. Because if you're not, people are going to get bored. We're sitting here every day, where's it at? When's it coming out? Where's it at? And every day, Liz has to answer the same questions, and I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go over the new packs that I really, really like, actually, and then we're going to go on to much more stuff. So I've already talked enough about the ads. Let's get on to what... So anyways, I wasn't here for the patch notes, so there's some things I want to say that I did like from the patch notes. So I didn't like the ads, of course, but there's some cool things I liked in this. So let me find the ones I liked. So first of all, I want to talk about the monthly offers where you get so much every day over an amount of time. First of all, I've preached about this since day one, since I've played this game. The Dracoin pack you cannot go wrong with. 20,000 Dracoins over a 30-day period. And even if you want to spend, and that's $15. That's a crazy amount. That's like a $120 thing for $15. I get that even if I was living out in the streets in a dumpster, I would go find a way to get $15 to buy this every month. I mean, that's the minimum I spend on this because that is crazy good. And then after that, I'll try to buy the battle pass if I can. I usually do it every month. And if I have extra money to spend, I always buy this too, because $6,000 is quite a bit for 30 days, and that's only $5. So that deal right there has always been there. It's always great, and if you don't know about it, I strongly suggest you do it because it will shoot you up, and it'll keep you going. I get so many people geared up over a month because of that Dracoin pack. Because I can't make it to first. I only get to top 30 probably in the arena. If you're hitting first all day, every day in arena, then you don't even have to buy this stuff because you get about that amount. So they added the monthly gold. So to me, I don't think that's worth it, guys. There's not a lot of gold, and there is a gold crunch. Don't get me wrong. But at this moment in time, I'm to a point where in the in-game, you don't really need the gold that much. I think mainly whales will buy this to buy runes. They're pretty much just in the rune shop. That's the only way you can acquire them at the moment. And we're going to get more into that too in the video. But at the moment, you can only buy them, pretty much. So they're sort of behind a paywall. Not really, but you can only spend gold on them. So I think that's where you'll get your money's worth. If you're to the point where, all right, I want to go all in on runes, buy this one. Otherwise, I don't see myself buying this for a long time. If I'm just balling, I get stimulated or something, talking about the stimulus checks, then maybe I might buy this or something. But all I can see myself spending this on is runes. And even then, you might get 20 runes, and you can't even guarantee that you hit speed on them. So, alright, so they also have a monthly energy one. This one I bought right when I saw it. This was pretty cool, guys. 21,000 energy over 30 days for $15. That's pretty good. I get 700 energy every day I log in. And whenever you buy that other Dracoin pack, you feel good waking up in the morning. You open up your email or your message box and you get 600 Dracoins and 700 energy. Right from the get-go, I get my farming done and I can just spend it all on gear. It feels good. I'm not gonna lie. As you can see, I didn't buy the other one. I mean, I probably would. And not to mention, look, guys, I get 3,000 energy as soon as I buy that. As soon as I buy the Dracoins, I get 2,000 Dracoins. So they also give you instantly, so you feel good about buying it too. So I can't praise that enough, to be honest. Even if you went to the gold one, I don't think it's a very good value. I'm going to be straight up. I don't think it's a good value, but to some people it will be. I've talked to some people like Warghoul and stuff, and he said he bought it. So the monthly Draco, if you want to get ahead in the game and you don't have a lot of money, this is the way to go. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but this is the way to go. $15, if I avoid going out to eat one day, maybe two, at a fast food place or something, there's my $15. It's not that much for the stuff you get. And of course, the battle pass. I've noticed that every battle pass character that's been coming out in the last 8 months is solid. Even ones I was like, I would even say, what? This guy's squishy or whatever. And then they get released 3 months later, all the whales are using them in their arena team. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Ho, I didn't think was anything. I thought he was terrible. And this dude's just, he's making teams completely better. Like, amazing theory crafting going on with him. Saboteur, he's not a battle pass character, but I thought he was trash. And then he's like in the top of the arena shards now. With Tromgar leads. It's crazy. There's a guy sitting in the #1 spot in my shard with a Tromgar lead, Saboteur, a Hard Orc. I don't remember who else was in there. So, Battle Pass, I don't think you can go wrong with either. $10, $11. It depends if you're on iOS or if you're on Android. They're different prices. Look at this. A lot of beginning game players need these mats. 115, that's a lot. Of course, this is over a month. It depends on how long you can get all these points to 3,000, but let's be real. It usually takes about a month. But, I mean, you also get 15 of these, and to be honest, if you're a beginner player, you can't get these. It's going to take you a long-ass time to collect them, about 4 months to be able to take one up. But these are very, very, one of the most precious items in the game. So you can't go wrong with that. And I mean, you're getting some, there's some speed runes in there. Getting some chests. Look at all this gear. I mean, this gear, you need these little belt guys a lot. You need these hammers a lot. You need that boot. You need this right here. You need that belt. I mean, you need all, these are pretty good gear items. So, for $10, you're doing well, and you're also unlocking a character at 4-star. I think it's 4-star. Could be wrong on that, but I think you get them with 4-star. And to be honest, the best characters in the game are becoming Battle Pass characters. And now they have Legend status, which I'll cover that here in a little bit too. So you can't go wrong with Battle Pass. You can't go wrong with the monthly anythings, I don't think. So just to give you perspective, look, $15 for 20,000 Dre coins. For $20, you can get 26,000 Dre coins a month. Look at this. Of course, you get 14,000, but I think that's only when you buy it for the first time. After you buy it, you won't get that again. So for the very first time you buy those, you'll get another 14,000. So say you already bought it though. You're only getting $14,000 or 14,000 Dre coins for $110, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's cool on their part for doing that. That's what I'm talking about. That's where they're cool. Like, are they wanting to make more money? Yes, they are. They are wanting to make more money. But not in a greedy way, guys. Like, I can show you greed. I can log on to, like, comment below. If you want me to make a video compared to, like, what the prices are here to Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force, you guys, you will be like, what? You will be like, what? Like, you have to spend a minimum of probably $50 to feel any kind of appreciation in those other games. Here you're spending $20, and I could start if I had the money to do it. I don't get paid for any of this, guys, but I would start a new account and I would become all pay to play and just buy these things again in another account, and I can show you how fast you can shoot up in this game. You literally buy those Dre coin. I didn't even have the 20,000 Dre coin packs when I started out. I only had the $5 ones. I would buy the $5 ones, and I would buy 10-time hero chests, and I had everyone 7-star within 3 months. That's pretty good. I only spent probably, I opened that chest 10 times, and it's 2,700 Dre coins, and I opened it maybe 10 times, and even at that point, I was getting just a bunch of duplicates. Like, I had everyone done, so there was no reason for me to do it. And now you have Thanessa, if you're starting out. I didn't have Thanessa, so that's another character you'll be ahead of everyone else. So they're not greedy, guys. When they make these changes, what you're used to, well, maybe they're getting bigger. Maybe they're increasing their dev team and they have to pay people. Like, you also have to look at it. There's two ways. We need to look at it from a business point for them, correct? Like, remember, they got to feed their families. They got to keep the business going. So I don't hate them for any of this. I just don't like the ads in my face. But for, like, new pack and stuff, like, I don't hate them for this. They're not being greedy. I just think they thought that was going to help. But honestly, new content makes us spend. But look at it from their point. They need to feed their families. They need to keep it going. And it's a little more lucrative business being in the video game world. But now you need to look at it from a, not so much, now you need to look at it from a player's point of view. And I'm not speaking so much about free-to-play players, but even if you spend $5 a month on this game, the devs need to look at us as investors and not just players. I will say they have not been communicating and not listening like they used to. Do I think they used to listen too much? Most definitely. But they almost went to a whole other spectrum. We need road ahead blogs. We need more communication, guys. I never thought I would say this, but PlayCon, we need more communication. We need roadhead blogs every 4 to 5 months. Players want to know, and as investors, they have investor meetings where companies will say, okay, this is what we're working on, this is where your money is going. That's the same thing. You got to look at people who pay for your game every month as investors and not just players who may not know what they're talking about. And especially when, like, huge players that, like, spend all their money and they're at the top, these guys are bored and they almost know everything, and those are your investors. So if they're not happy, you got to make them happy. And I'm not saying cater to them, but the whales pretty much feel the same way as you free-to-play players do. I'm no whale. I guess you would call me a minnow or something. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of have to feel the best of both worlds. But you have to look at us as investors, too. So, it goes both ways. And once again, guys, I think the only problem with these ads is that they're in your face. They get rid of the ads. Hopefully they take the shit off the side. And they have great deals in here. They make me want to spend money. They're making me want to spend money that I don't have. That means they're doing play quantum. That means you're doing the right job. You're doing the right thing. Just get rid of the fucking ads. And we're going to quit talking about the monetization part, but it's a huge part of the game, and it needs to be talked about. But that's about all I had to say about it. Well, I guess I got rid of it, but they had personal offers that were like, it seemed like they were RNG. Like they were just randomizing offers and offering them to you. They were pretty damn good. Also, play quantum. I don't see them on here, but bring those back. I didn't have the money at the time because I moved and everything, but there was all kinds of like $1, $2, $5 packs that were actually pretty good, but they seemed like they were RNG, like they were almost just created randomly. Bring those back. Those were cool too. I was looking for them. I couldn't find them. Maybe they're still here, maybe not. If they're not, bring those back because that's going to bring more money. Get rid of the ads. We're happy. I'm happy with the packs. There's some that I would never buy, but there's still a lot that I would. So if you want us to spend money, make content. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that we're all aware of. It's all the devs are aware of, but it's lack of content. We're bored. You've now taken like the fun and rush of getting that legendary hero because now they're just automatically there. I like that idea, and from free-to-play aspect, that is huge, guys. And newer players, that's huge. That helps you guys out. But it kind of takes the fun out of like the rush of having to get it. I feel like that takes money out of the devs' pockets because some people are going to rush to buy some more resources before the event comes around, especially a new one that no one's gotten yet. So that kind of takes money out of your pockets because now people don't have to rush. They can just take their time, and as soon as you hit that last piece of gear, you can go in and get it, I'm so happy for the beginner players, but I feel like that's kind of part of the fun. Like, you've been spending all this time on this race, and you're just like waiting, but while you're waiting, you get to work on this next race, so by the time it comes around, you might already be ready. So I just like that way of the feeling of, like, I have to get it in a certain amount of time. The Buff event did that to me. I always say it's one of the worst times in my life, but actually it was a lot of fun. I was miserable at that point, but the feeling that I got after 7 days that I unlocked Buff, it was like I got on my knees and just like put my arms in the air, like life doesn't give me that kind of feeling. I'm not a sad person or anything, but I don't ever do that in life. Like, video games make me like do that sometimes. And when a good video game does that, that's a good video game. When you're getting emotions like that, that's a good video game. So, I'm kind of sad about it from that aspect. I had some other things to say about that, but I can't remember right offhand. But getting back into the content thing, like I said earlier, just for the time being, like, just put all your resources into Guild Wars, because that's another thing. We need a road ahead. Let us know where you're at. Let us know what's going on with it. Even if you just started, we still want to know, so we're not just sitting here every day thinking, I wonder if it comes out tomorrow, or I wonder if it's coming out next month. Like, we don't know. Like, just give us some kind of idea. Also, like, we want to know what happens out after Guild Wars. Because, just like Battlegrounds, people are going to get tired of just doing Guild Wars after a while. So what's your next thing? Like, you don't have to say, this is what we're doing, but just say, we're thinking about this is what we're going to do next. Or just give us a general broad area of like what you're going to do next. But there's all kinds of things you guys can do. And when you get Guild Wars out, I really hope you have, I'm not saying everyone on your team has to work on one thing, so I doubt that's how it works, but have some people doing some side stuff, but have a few people always working on the next big thing. Like, you should always be working on the next big thing. Maybe that's how things work. I don't work there. I don't know. But I'm not sure either. I don't know if you are doing this or not. But like, get Guild versus Guild out and then work on the next big thing. Here's another thing is, some people don't like the player versus player aspect of games. I'm not a fan of it really, but in these games, I love it all. But like in Call of Duty or something, I don't even play it. I hate it. I hate that. I hate going against another player. I just want to go against computer AI. PvE. We need more PvE. And this is going to tie into runes and everything else. But first of all, give us more campaigns. Get some of those people were bitching about, like Wukong or I don't know. Who else? Tobald. I'm sure there's some other ones like Vanessa. Give us a new campaign. Make them farmable there. We'll be fine with it. Make it harder, not where, make it to where you have to have them geared up pretty well. It doesn't have to be easy. Campaigns don't have to be easy. If there's some really good characters in there, make it to where we have to kind of fight for it, have to work for it. And if that's how you do it, that's fine. But give us somewhere to farm these guys. Put them somewhere. And then like the Battle Pass rotation, Galaxy of Heroes does it. They have a formula. They release a character, they wait a few months, and they put them out in where you can buy them in packs or something, and then like a month goes by, and then they are farmable. They're always farmable somewhere. We should know about how we should be like, okay, in 3 months I'll be able to farm this character. 3 months is fine. That gives the whales their time to have fun with them and everything else, and then by the time they're available to us, the free-to-play players, it takes them another month or so to level that character up. So that's a perfect time frame to know when we're going to farm somebody. Where's the legendary events? Why isn't, like, Tobald should be farmable. We should be able to farm them, and those legendary events should be coming around soon. As a free-to-play person, I consider myself more free-to-play. I don't even have them all farmed yet. So, from my aspect, I'm like, okay, hell yeah. Give me all the time I want so I can get them ready. But, if you want money, in your pockets as devs, and the whales want those characters, this is how it should be. The whales should get that character the first time around. And then the second time around is when all the free-to-play, if they work their asses off, should get them. That's why they shouldn't do you get them instantly. Because then that takes money out of your pocket. When I talk about legendary events, you shouldn't get them instantly. That takes money out of your pockets because the whales are going to whale out so they can have that character before everyone else. And that's what's fun about this game. That's where you get your dopamine, you get off on, because you have a character that most people don't have. So you have an advantage for 4 more months. And then you just repeat the process over and over again. Also, your roster isn't big enough still. Like, I'm sure you're like, you guys are doing great, by the way. Like, your character development is amazing. Every Battle Pass character, I'm like, okay, they can't top this. And every time you guys come around with amazing kits, amazing characters, and you guys are hitting that out of the park completely. But you need to keep coming out with more stuff. After these legendary events out, we've talked to Liz about it a little bit. Nothing like official or anything, but when these legendary events come out, bring us another faction. It doesn't have to be 2 factions at a time. Just start on another faction. You can release them in different places. A new campaign, a new campaign you can litter them all over the place. So, and then there's some stores you haven't added people in a long time. You can litter, a new and they don't have to be the best. They don't have to be, OP. Just give us more characters. And that's what I'm talking about, undead. I also think the Pride could have their own sub-factions. Like all foxes, all, just like pandas, they're all pandas. Well, like Renard could have their own faction, different foxes, like a bird faction with Kagi and Boreas and the Owl Lady. There's 3 right there. You can add 2 more and you have a bird faction. But like a tiger and even like lion mixed. You know what I'm saying? You got Reval. You can have a lot. Like they could all be in their own same thing. I know, like in real life, they don't hang out together, but still, you get the idea. You know what I'm saying? That'd be cool. And so, there's all kinds of things you can do, and hopefully, you guys are doing that soon too. Content-wise, like if you've played Marvel Strike Force, they have something called Dark Dimension, and it's PvE, and it's set up like a campaign, but it's not. It's its own mode, but it's set up like PvE. But it is effing hard. Right now, there's like 4 or 5 versions of it, and I'm telling you, and every one of them, the requirements go up. So, if they required, if they added Gear 13, let's just say the first Dark Dimension, you have to be Gear 11. Okay, start out small. You have to have all your people to Gear 11. Okay, I'm sorry. You have to have certain characters at Gear 11 to even enter. I think the first one was you just have to have characters at Gear 11 or 12, and then you can get in. But then the second one, it stepped it up. Like, you have to have everyone to like gear 13, I think. When they release these, they release it in time, like when they up their gear, so it's not as easy as it sounds at the time. But as time goes on, it gets easier. And then, like, right now, it's taken me months and months to get into Dark Dimension 3, because you have to have all your characters to gear 14. And that's hard. I mean, and there's already another one where you have to have gear 15. So right now, in that game, it's hard to even get to gear 14. So just to get 5 characters you can play with to gear 14 takes you months to do. And then on top of that, like every 4, it changes prerequisites where, like in Dragon Champions, for instance, like you can only use Pride and Human characters in the first 4 nodes. And then after that, you can only use, orcs and elves or something. You know what I mean? They change it up so that means I need 5 characters at tier 14 for the first 4, and I have to have a whole nother 5. So, I have to end up getting like 15, 20 characters at gear 14 to complete it. So not only does it take you months to enter it, but it takes you months to beat it. But when you beat it, like the rewards are astronomical. You know what I mean? Like, they're crazy. And they have characters that are only tied to that mode. But when you unlock it, they're one of the best characters in the game. And that's a mode that they should do. Like, start getting some PvE content in there. We love the PvP, but that's all we've gotten lately. So just as a suggestion, like, after you get Guild versus Guild out of here, start working on something I just mentioned, some PvE. Also, campaigns for runes. We need to farm 4 and 5 star runes. Like, it needs to happen. Their whales have had their fun. They're pretty much, their whole entire roster is stacked with 5-star runes. Why people like me who are in the end game, but we're like little fish just getting eaten up by the sharks, by the whales, because they all have runes that I can't even get. Like, I can barely even roll anything on speed, let alone put them on all my characters. It is time for us to be able to farm them. Add to the campaign. Make it hard. Don't make it easy for us. Make it hard. Give us a challenge. Give us something to do. But at the same time, it's time for us to be able to start farming those. Like, it's just done. We got to farm those. But once again, you can make it hard enough where people just coming into the game can't just go and beat it. Like, make it hard enough where you have to be kind of like at the 1.5 million total hero power. You know what I'm saying? Have a couple gear 12s or something. But make it to where we can get them. This is getting ridiculous. It just needs to happen. And another thing is, let us sell artifacts. I think they're trying to monetize us to be like, buy more rune. Just let us sell it. So yeah, just let us sell them. I mean, I don't see what the problem is, and I don't think it's a big deal, like, developing wise, to be able to do that. So just let us sell them. Another thing, as I've noticed some people I've talked about, is like there's no competitiveness for high end players. They're usually just playing the same people in battlegrounds, and there's just not a lot for them to do. Like, they're just kind of sitting at the top, yawning, bored. So something I'm thinking about, like a solution to that, is tournaments. Here's my thing. I've never cared about tournaments. There's so much been controversy over them. I just don't care. I compete in them, get the rewards I want and need, and then I'm just done. It's not my most favorite thing, but I'm glad it's there. I like it. It's just not something I enjoy that much. So I don't care if they change it, if they keep it the same, whatever. But instead of changing anything, and I don't know if this is a good idea or what, this is what I've thought. Maybe somehow make more difficult tiers of tournaments so that for the higher end players, they can all join into the brutal difficulty tournaments. And for the lower players, they can go to the easy or beginner tournaments, and everyone in the middle of all that. You know what I'm saying? So then it would kind of match make everyone. But, like, you would want to go up a tier because the rewards are better. So let's say, like, if you get number 1 in a beginner one, it's like very meager rewards. But if you're in the very top tier difficulty, you get crazy amounts of stuff. You know what I mean? So that will give you an incentive to want to move up against the better players. So no one would just stay in beginner because they could dominate everyone, because the rewards wouldn't be as good. A lot of games do that. So that's not anything crazy, and I think it's a great idea. That would make it more competitive with the higher end players. But I mean, I know a lot of them want something different or something. That's something you could change up to make tournaments more fun, to make people want to participate in them more and move up. So it's not quite arena, you know what I mean? Because it's just different tiers of difficulty with different rewards, and I think that would go a long way. But even if whether it's that or something else, high-end players want something to do that not everyone else has to do because they have different problems than us. Free-to-play players, they're still working on beating the next challenge or beating all the challenges or events or legendaries or getting these characters so-and-so. But the high-end players have everyone gear 12, and they're all of them ruined up, and they're just sitting there like, just looking around waiting. So, and they have nothing to spend on. So that's why content is also the most important thing, because you have to continually give them something to spend on. If there's no content to spend on their heroes, that's why I said you need to get more heroes out. I know you're working your ass off. I don't think you guys are just sitting there like bored, just hanging around, just not listening to us. But I mean, get those characters out and get content out, because at this point, all the other hero collectors have so much more to do. Even though they started years and years before you still got to catch up. So, maybe that's why they're putting out all of these more ads and more, so they're trying to make more so they can make their dev team bigger, which I support. But if that's the case, yeah, make it bigger so you can get stuff out. Because you kind of have to put it out at a faster pace, because things are different than when Galaxy of Heroes came out 6 years ago. There wasn't a pandemic, things were a lot different, even 6 years ago. But you're now in a whole different time, things are different, and yeah, we love you, but you gotta kind of get that content out. But I think people won't even be in a hurry if you would just come out with a road ahead blog. And I've told her that, and she said, well, think about it. Well, no offense, but let's not think about it. Let's just do it. Let's put what's it going to hurt? What is it going to hurt to tell the player base what your plans are and how far you are into guild versus guild? Because you come out and say, yep, we're working on it. Well, that's all we know. It's been a couple months since that release. Well, where are you at? Even if you're not close, it still makes us feel better just to know where you're at. Just let us know. Once again, a lot of us are investors in your business, and we want to know where it's going. People are saying it's dying. Now listen, it's not dying, guys. You know how many times I've heard people say, this game's dying, it's not going anywhere. Guys, it's not dying. Quit saying it's dying. It's not dying. It's doing well. There's a place where you can see, like, business-wise, how much money they're bringing in, and how much they're not, and like where they're at over time. I don't know what that is, but I don't think they're too much down. They're not going anywhere. They're not dying. They're trying to make it better. So I wish people would just quit saying it's dying. It's not dying. I'm not going anywhere, and I know a lot of players that aren't going to go anywhere just because of some ads. So, but there are a lot of people that are. I'm not saying one side's right or wrong. I'm not saying that, but the game's not dying. I wish we could just quit saying that. It's not dying. And kind of the last thing is, like, I wish they wouldn't have rushed out expeditions. I wish they would have tied these with battles. I wish every one of these you had to complete a battle just to be able to get that reward. And obviously, the higher the tier, it is, the harder it is. I mean, that's not hard to do, I don't think. So, I think they said that's what they were going to do, but I wouldn't think that'd be very hard either. But that's content. This isn't really content. Like XMG said, this is idle gameplay. Like, you don't do anything, you don't think about anything, you just click. But in this game, just put some battles on it. People will enjoy it more. The rewards will mean more if you have to battle for them. So I think you could literally stick that onto an update, and that would be hugely positive. Just that right there. And another thing is like the Mystic ability scrolls. Add a challenge that is hard as shit, that requires gear 12 characters, all 7s, whatever. But throw a challenge in there where it can be hard as hell. I don't care, but make him somewhere where we can get him. You could solve that problem by not inserting them into the game too early. If you insert them into the game too early, people are sitting there staring at him like, where are these at? Why aren't they in the game? If they're there, why can't I get to them? Like, that's kind of a problem they've had too, is like, also the half pig and the dwarf leader is in the game and has been for months. Don't do that. I don't want to know what they look like or anything until the legendary comes around. It's like a huge surprise. It's a huge reveal, and everyone's freaking out about it. But by this point, everyone almost knows what they're going to do as soon as we get them, because they've went over their kit 1,000 times. We already know what they look like. Like, little things like that, if you know we can't get access to them, don't even put them in the game. Like, just don't do it. Just hold off. And I'm sure you're excited for everyone to know about it, but if it's not quite ready and you can't access those characters, just don't put them in the game yet, So that's another thing, like something small like that, but it goes a long way. Just don't put it in the game yet. Mystic Scrolls have been there forever, and there's no way to. So now's the time, I guess, just to like make a hard as hell challenge or something to get to them, and then you can sprinkle them in as rewards for the new content you create. Hopefully, you get a new raid out after Guild versus Guild, and then like throw Mystic Scrolls in there. I think that'd be a great idea. Maybe that's what you guys already planned. I don't know, but we gotta have a place to farm them right now, just to make people happy. All right, guys. I know this one's been really long. I'm about done. A few more things I want to cover from like the patch notes. Guys, this rating system makes no sense. I'm okay with a rating system, but first of all, what do you have? 3? You have legendary, epic, and rare, right? There's no other ones like legendary, epic, and rare. Only 3? You can't confine all these heroes into 3 categories. You need to have uncommon and common added to it. Just like Raid. Make it common, uncommon, rare, epic, and then legendary. That's enough. Then you can kind of... That's why this doesn't make any sense. Because you only have 3 tags. You need at least 5. Even more if you want to. Because, Salvador is better than... Let's see here. Salvador is better than Voyran the Trickster. But if I was new, and I was going by what these were, I'm like, oh... Well, they're both rare, so... Or you could go the other way and be like, well, they both suck then. If Salvador's a rare, I'm not going to go for him. Salvador's a fucking beast. He's a beast. And on the same note, Thanessa's not legendary. We did not go through a legendary event to get Thanessa. So she's an epic. That's what you do. You make the Battle Pass characters epic, and the really hard ones to get that are epic that aren't legendary. But that drives me crazy along with everyone else. You can't call someone legendary if they didn't come from a legendary event. No matter how much you want us to accept that, we're not going to. It makes no sense. Like, this system is terrible. I've heard people complain about like them by the names. I don't care about that, to be honest. The only thing I have a problem with is who's rare and who's legendary and all that. Only give the legendary characters legendary. Give the really hard ones an epic. And the really good ones an epic. Give the middle ones rares, and then all the shitty ones, I don't care if you put uncommon or common, or just add uncommon. Not even common. Just add uncommon and make all the crappy characters uncommon, all the somewhat decent ones rare, add the Battle Pass characters and the really good ones, the ones that are kind of hard to farm, epics, and then legendaries are only legendaries. That's in every game. This is the first game I've ever seen where non-legendaries are considered legendary. Please fix that. Please fix that. So one last thing I kind of want to touch on. And this is kind of just making the player base aware. And kind of a letter to the devs too. Since Wukong came out, there was controversy of, I guess he was leaked. I don't know who the tester was that did it. I don't know if they know. I don't think they know, or else this wouldn't be the case. But ever since then, they have literally cut almost testers completely out of the loop. Completely out of it. And, devs, give us back some freedom. Give us back some love. Like, give us a little bit of time, a week or two to test things. Like, all this wouldn't have happened with all this controversy this week if you would just let us test the actual builds. To the player base, they don't let us see the patch until one day before. Long enough for like me and Zeri and everyone else to make patch notes videos, so as soon as they release it, we can release them to you. That is all we get. We have to pry information out of them these days, like where things are at, what they're working on. I'm not harping on them about this. I understand it's because they don't want anything to get leaked again. But, devs, me and Zeri are talking about this. Make us sign like an agreement. Like if you leak something, then you're in trouble. Because I have no problem doing that. I'm so happy to be a tester. Like, it makes me... I feel like I'm a badass. You know what I mean? I get to test the game. I've never got to do this before. It's a game I'm absolutely in love with. And I get to help the community and blah, 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 blah. But I can't even answer any questions because you guys don't tell us anything. You won't let us test things. Let us test again. Please. Like, let us actually be testers. Because right now, we aren't even testers. We just get to have the stigma of saying, yep, I get to test the game, I'm cool. Well, I don't know anything because I'm not really testing it. And all we get is to get pretty much theory craft for free, you know? I don't have to pay the resources to keep trying, and I get infinite energy in my test account. I mean, this is a complaint, but like, devs, don't think I don't appreciate what you've done for me and like given to me, and you guys have given me a platform, and I'm actually, you know, my channel's growing because of it. So I appreciate you guys more than you even know. I love you guys to death, but you know, give us some more freedom. Please just give it back to us. Like I said, if we have to sign an agreement, an NDA agreement that says we have to be quiet about things, I'm totally down. But please don't ruin it for us because of some asshole that, you know, leaked it and probably isn't even in the test chat anymore. I mean, they still might be. I don't know. You know, I'll even help you try to find him. That's how much it pisses me off that this guy did this. Like, what's the point? Why do you got to be the guy that just does that? If it's a Star Wars movie, I'm all in. I want to hear the leaks. But this, like, we don't need the leak. You're going to get it 2 weeks later. Just don't leak it. I don't understand why that was a thing. So it pisses me off that the guy did that. But at the same time, devs, come on, give us another chance, because we're just useless at this moment. At this moment in time, we could answer those questions Liz. We could answer those questions that you get asked all the time if you would just let us in on some things, and that will save them people from having to come find you and take out time out of their day to take time out of your day to have to answer some question that me, Zary, any other content creator could answer in our Discord or on Facebook. We can literally, we're all looking at the same post that you are, Liz. We can answer those for you without you having to come on there. You know, I know it's not our jobs, but we do this for fun. We love it. We love talking about Dragon Champions all day, every day. So just let us have some freedom back. That's all I want to say. Please don't hate me for this. I just want our freedom back, and I'm sure everyone else agrees. So, because the test chat, the testers are kind of a joke at this point because we're not really testing anything. And, like, let's come up with some, like, creative ideas to, you know, put the game out there. Instead of putting, like, effort into, like, making in-game players try to spend more money, well, let's spend a little bit of money to get a little bit of money back. The way you guys are going to make more money is you might, if you catch that couple people's whales' attention, that's a lot of revenue for you right there. So just, like, I know you guys have paid money for advertising. I know you don't have a lot of money. I know this. But I do know that you guys pay, like, other big YouTube creators, I'm not going to say their names, to advertise for them, but they don't give a crap about the game. They don't care. They don't care, and they're balling anyways from their other games that they're playing. They don't care about this game. They're just laughing in the bank, and they do one advertisement for you, and that's it. Like, you have us, who don't have a biggest following, I'll get you that, but, you know, kind of promote me, Zary, Starco. I don't even know if there's any other creators anymore, but the ones that are left, like, kind of promote them on your pages, or, you know, do like some kind of content creator event on YouTube or something like that. Give us a platform, get us a following, and then we'll do all the work for you. Like, we're here to help you, you know? But, like, I think you should, don't hate me for this, but I think you should put more into the little guys like us and, like, promote us. Like, you don't even have to pay us. Just kind of, like, promote us somehow. You know what? And, like, maybe have, like, YouTube events or something. I mean, a lot of people do this. Raid does this with Hell Hades and Jay Giggs and everything, where they all get together and they do stuff on the official Dragon Champs YouTube or something. I know there's all kinds of things you could do. And I've had this idea in my head forever. And if someone's watching that can help me do this, but I want to make like a weekly 15-minute cartoon of Dragon Champions. This game is screaming cartoon. You know, G.I. Joe, He-Man, all them, I'm pretty sure it was the toys first, and then they made a show to promote the toys. And the toys are like the biggest collectible thing right now. I've said this, and they're like, yeah, that'd be cool. But I think this would be big for the, like, make like a 15-minute cartoon. It could be like on YouTube. You could, once again, you guys, the devs, could promote it on your Reddits and everywhere else, on your official webpage and everything else. And it's just 15 minutes a week or a month or something. And it gives people, like, they can connect their favorite characters to either or. Maybe they'll see the cartoon first, and they'll enjoy the cartoon, like, oh, wow, I want to play the game. They go to the game and like, oh, there's my favorite character. And vice versa, about the show to the game. I think it's a really good idea. So people, if you're watching this, let's get that going. If you have any kind of connections or anything to where we could do this, I think it would be huge. And so that's just one idea. Another idea I have about like how you can just make the player base happy, feel involved. Like how Liz, she'll come out with a character and show like 4 iterations of it, and then I'm gonna do another video on this after this one too, showing you. And then she'll show the next step in making the character in 4 different kinds, and then she'll go and they're like, all right, well, this is what we decided, and then she'll show like the actual CG version of it. Okay, do the same exact thing, but let players actually vote on a poll. Go to wherever, Reddit, wherever the most people are that are involved in the game. Put a poll up there and say, all right, guys, you all have a say on the next character. Put those. It doesn't have to be from scratch. They don't have to come up with it, but give them 4 different designs or 4 different characters, and that week they vote. Everyone votes, and whoever gets the most vote, that character gets to move on, just like you do. But the players are deciding. Then that character, you have 4 different designs, and everyone gets a vote on that design, and whoever gets the most votes, you move to the next step. And I think people would love that. And if you did that every 6 months or so, that'd be huge. People will feel like, oh, I got a say in what that character was going to look like. You don't have to do what I say. I mean, I'm not part of this team. I don't get paid or anything. But just think about it. I've been playing Galaxy of Heroes for 6 years. I've been playing for Strike Force for 4 years. I played Dragon Champion since it started. I've been playing Raid for almost 7 months. I'm not an expert, but I do know what players like to see in a hero collector and what they don't like to see. I do believe you guys are doing amazing. This isn't me like harping on you saying you guys are doing terrible. You're terrible people. It's just we have some glaring problems, and a lot of them are so simple that you guys could fix them in a couple of months, and people will be ecstatic. These are very, very simple problems to fix. They're not hard at all to fix. So if you guys just did the few things I said, and maybe a little bit extra to kind of make the player base just feel like a part of it, and I'm telling you, it's not much. That poll I just mentioned isn't a lot. You don't have to do much, and it's going to make people think, this is freaking cool. No other game does this. So just hopefully you guys listen to us and know that the fan base is a little aggravated at the moment. And I know that's not what you guys want. I know that's not what you guys planned. But once again, you guys are doing amazing. Like I mentioned earlier, I know it's new. I know you guys are relatively young to this whole thing. And you guys are literally hitting it out of the park. You've made something from scratch into something huge. But I want it to be the best game. I want it to be better than stupid Galaxy of Heroes, stupid Strike Force. The only reason they are as big as they are is because of their Marvel and a Star Wars, IP. If it was not for that those games would have, drowned a long time ago. You guys started with your own lore, your own characters, and you have went from the bottom. I respect you so much for that. I appreciate what you guys have done. I just don't want you guys to think that I'm harping on you too bad. Just think about it as like tough love or something. So, with that being said, this has went on way too long. Hopefully I covered some of the problems that you as the player base have thought have been problems for a while. And as devs, just know, guys, I will always be here for you guys. You know what I mean? I don't want this to be like thought of as a negative thing. It's just kind of like sitting down and having a talk. Just like sitting down and just, when a family has some problems and they have to talk it out. So, that being said, the player base, I love you guys. It's so good to be back. I'm so happy to get some content going out again. I don't know how good my internet is. We'll try doing some streaming, but I can't guarantee that. But so glad to be back. So glad to do things with you, and I appreciate everything you guys do. If you stayed for this long, long video, I need to start saying this. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Because I think 70% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribed. And we have a lot of good things coming. And I love doing things with you guys. And yeah. So I appreciate everything you guys do for me. Devs, same thing. I appreciate you guys, everything you guys do for me. Let's just keep making this game better. I wish I could go to Germany right now and just do stuff for free for you guys. That's how much I love this game. I don't ever expect anything from you guys. Let's try to take some ideas, or just like hit me up and say like, or like make a group chat of just the content creators and just be like, so what do you guys think would be good? I don't want to exclude anybody, you know what I mean? But sometimes some people are just complaining to complain, and it's hard to filter through all the good stuff with the bad. But people like me are here to help you guys filter that out. I'm pretty good to know, like, from a business side and a player side and where to meet in the middle. I'm going to shut up now. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.